Good evening. Thank you very much for waiting. I appreciate everybody sticking around. It's always, I hate running behind schedule, but as you can understand, these days get pretty crazy sometimes. And so I appreciate everybody's patience. Before I begin my remarks this evening on the economy, I want to talk about just of the few issues that our country is facing. And primarily, I want to talk about the situation with the government agencies. And, you know, every time there's a new administration, there's always a review of budgets, there's a review of agencies. And actually, that review of agencies should begin in the transition, those 76 or 77 days of transition that take place uh, before the inauguration. And that's where you get a chance to actually have a thorough review of that agency and look at what you want to achieve coming January 20th of the next year. What we have seen is just it's hard to describe. I can never imagine a president of the United States gutting a federal agency. I can never imagine a president of the United States just totally wiping away websites. I don't I don't get it. And I will make you this promise here tonight. This administration will not do that. It hasn't done it in 4 years, and it's not going to start. We have got to stay focused on the real issues facing this country. The real issues facing this country aren't trying to have Canada become the 51st state, not trying to buy Greenland, not trying to take control over Gaza, but we need to take care of our own people in this country. For 4 years, I have come to this podium to talk to you about the issues that are facing our country, real issues. It's been the economy. It's been numerous things I've come to talk to you about, and this is going to be no different tonight. We're going to get to this in a moment, but I want to bring that to your attention that it's disheartening that a president of the United States, excuse me, would actually say those things and do those things. I don't get it. It's not the way I operate, not the way I would operate as president, and it's not the way this administration would operate. So thank you for letting me to say those few words here. I think that's important. But tonight, I do want to talk about the future of this country, and I kind of mentioned that just in the opening here. The future we are building together, a future where hard work is rewarded, where families can build a better life, and where the promise of America is not just for the privileged few, but for every single person willing to put forth the effort. And I think I just mentioned that. It's not for the ultra billionaires. It's for every single citizen of this country. For far too long, our economy has worked for those at the very top, while too many working Americans have struggled just to get by. Wages have stagnated, factories have closed, and entire communities have been hollowed out by corporate decisions made in boardrooms far away from the people whose lives they affect. Meanwhile, the wealthiest among us have reaped the benefits, growing their fortunes while working families have been left behind. But I believe in a simple principle in this country. We should reward work, not just wealth. If you work hard, if you play by the rules, if you put in an honest day's labor, you should be able to earn a decent living, support your family, and retire with dignity. That's what the American dream is about. It's our responsibility to make sure it's alive and well for generations to come. A key part of that future is something I believed in my entire life, and it's the words made in America. For years, we've heard politicians say that American manufacturing is dead, that globalization and automation have made it impossible to keep good paying union jobs here in the United States, that the only way forward is to accept decline. I refuse and will not accept decline. I refuse to accept the idea that we can't build things in America anymore and that we have to rely on foreign supply chains for the goods we need, that we can't create good jobs that support families and strengthen communities. I don't believe in surrendering to the forces of globalization. I believe in harnessing them to our advantage. And that's exactly what we are doing. My administration is making a historical investment in American workers and American industry. We're rebuilding our infrastructure, not just with roads and bridges, but with high speed rail, broadband, and clean energy technology. We're ensuring that when the government spends your tax dollars, that money is creating American jobs and not being sent overseas to low wage labor markets. And we're bringing back the kind of manufacturing jobs that build the middle class with strong unions, good wages, and real benefits. We've already seen the results. New factories are being built across the country. Automo- Automobile plants, semiconductor facilities, steel mills, all hiring American workers, paying American wages, producing goods stamped with the proud words made in the USA. But let me be clear, this is just the beginning, and it really is. We're not just bringing jobs back. We're ensuring that these jobs pay a fair wage. That means strengthening unions because history has shown that when unions are strong, wages rise, benefits improve, and families do better. It means ensuring that every worker has the right to collectively bargain, to demand fair treatment, and to share in the success they help create. Because no one in this country should work full time and still struggle to put food on the table. And I have said this story so many times, and it revolves around one of the big topics I talk about, education. There is no reason that an educator who works far more than a full-time job, if you look at the hours educator works 80 to 100 hours a week, they're on the poverty level. Some of them are working second jobs, and I don't know how, but that's got to come to an end. The people who are shaping our next generation of Americans deserve better. And we're making sure that workers aren't just earning more, they're keeping more of what they earn. For too long, our tax code has been rigged in favor of the ultra wealthy and big corporations, while working families pay more than their fair share. That's not right. Under my administration, we're making sure billionaires pay their fair share so that we can cut taxes for middle class families, expand child care, and lower the cost of health care. I said this a lot on the campaign trail last year, talking about maybe if you are that ultra rich and have been successful, that you give back to the community, either where you live or where you were born. Give back to that community and with the talent that they gave you and provide. And if you do that, we'll provide you with a tax cut. That's a novel ideal. Because an economy that works for everyone isn't just about jobs, it's about opportunity. It's about making sure that young people can get a good education without being buried in debt, that parents don't have to choose between putting food on the table and paying for childcare. That should never come down to a choice. That retirees don't have to worry about whether Social Security will be there for them after a lifetime of work. And it brings up another thing I was going to talk about a little bit earlier. I will never in my administration either cut or threaten to cut Social Security. This isn't about going back to the past. It's about building a new future, a future where America leads the world in innovation, where we're at the cutting edge of technology, and where we create new industries that will power the economy for the next century. A future where the middle class isn't shrinking, it's growing. Where working people don't just get by, they get ahead. That's the America I believe in, and that's the America we are building together. So to every worker out there, whether you punch a clock behind the desk or you build the products that keep the country moving, I want you to know this. I see you, I hear you, and every day in the Oval Office, I am fighting for you. Because America is at its best when we invest in our workers and when we stand up for our middle class and when we ensure that opportunity isn't just reserved for a select few, but available to every single person willing to work for it. That is our mission. That is our purpose. And together, we will build a future that rewards work, not just wealth. A future where Made in America is not just a slogan, but a reality. A future where every American, no matter where they come from, no matter their background, has a fair shot of the American dream. Every person in this country, irregardless of zip code, irregardless of race, irregardless of income, has a fair shot at the American dream. Everyone deserves that shot. I want to thank you very much. May God bless you, and may He protect our troops. Thank you all very much. Thank you. Thank you.